Business Strategy Presentation, GHD Group. Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation. Our group members are Chen, Xiaohui Zhang, and Hui Jiang. In this presentation, we are going to analyze GHD's performance and strategies. GHD Group is an international professional service company which provides engineering, architecture, environmental, and construction consulting and management to public and private sectors clients. Firstly, we will provide a brief background of the company GHD and the professional service industry. Secondly, we will discuss about the sustainable source of competitive advantage of GHD, and next we will talk through the principal economic and industry characteristics of GHD. Fourthly, GHD's SWOT analysis and GHD's international strategy. Finally, we will conclude this presentation. GHD was founded in 1928 and now is one of the best professional service companies with over 8,500 employees, 200 offices across 5 continents and 135 countries, and GHD operating in the global market of water, energy and resources, environment, property and buildings, and transportation markets. Their goal is to achieve outcome of clients and increase value at each step. GHD is in professional service industry which including a range of different occupations with which we provide support to business of all sizes and in all sectors. Which means working in professional service provides specialized advice to their client. The first question is, does GHD have a sustainable source of competitive advantage? The competitive advantage of GHD is strong human capital, which is an intangible feature to improve customer satisfaction. This competitive advantage is created by its employee ownership model, innovation zone, and business school program. Due to the strong human capital, the service offering by GHD are more valuable and help GHD differentiating their service from offering of the competitors. GHD is a 100% employee-owned company. In GHD, employees are not just workers, they are also organizations' shareholders, investors, and temporary custodians. With a quarter employees are shareholders. Employees' performance is directly involved in the growth, success, and direction of the organization. Moreover, it is going to motivate the employees to perform better to increase customer satisfaction. GHD believes this kind of employee ownership will have a high, sustainable competitive advantage. GHD launched its Innovation Zone in 2008 to encourage every employee to be able to share new ideas for improving internal process and commercial opportunity.
The economic and industry characteristics of GHD. According to GHD official website, in 2016, GHD has 8,500 employees all over the world, and nearly 14% of them are working in Australia. You can see Australia as one of its major markets. Therefore, the economic and industry characteristic analysis will based on Australia. The economic factors are including inflation rate, interest rates, trade deficits, budget deficits, and GDP. Inflation is an important benchmark of measuring the stability of a country's economy. This phenomenon happens when the numbers of cash flow increase in the market, which makes the price level rise continuously. As a consequence, the money's purchasing power declines. This chart shows that Australia's inflation rate from June 2014 to January 2017 has been between 1% and 3%. It is creeping inflation, which is actually beneficial to economic growth. For GHD, the Australian market's economy is stable. Interest rate. An increase in interest rates can affect a business in two ways. The first impact is customers have debits have less income to spend. A second impact, a firm with overdraft will have higher costs. Interest rate in Australia averaged 4.75% from 1919 until 2017. Australia's current interest rate is very low. Trade deficit. Trade deficits or surpluses refer to the difference between the total export value of a country and the total value of imports over a certain period of time. According to the Australian Bureau of Statistics data released on February 2, Australia's trade surplus reached $3.5 billion in December, compared with the deficit of $33 billion in 2015. It's still a big improvement. However, the future is still full of uncertainty. If the deficit continues, GHD's income will be affected by the declining of Australian dollar exchange rate. Budget deficit. Budget deficits occur when the government spends more than its tax, and budget surplus occurs when the government has more than its spent. This graph shows the budgets of Australian government from 2006 to 2016. It stayed in the situation of budget deficits more than 8 years. In order to balance the budgets, the Australian government is likely to increase company tax rates to get more tax. Gross domestic product. The gross domestic product can be used as an indicator to measure the health of a country's economy. It represents the total value of all goods and services produced over a specific time period. This graph shows the Australia GDP has fallen in the last 2 years and its economic development has declined. Industry characteristic analyze. GHD belongs to a professional service industry. This presentation will use Porter's 5 forces to analyze the Australian service industry in recent 5 years. The first one is risk of entry by potential competitor. Potential competitors are the companies that not currently competing in an industry but have ability to do so if they choose. There were 3 existing buyers to new entrant company. The first one is brand loyalty. Compared with new entrant company, clients may more prefer to use the company they trust. The second one is the customer switching cost. When customers need to pay high switching costs, they may prefer to stay with the company currently used. The last one is regulation. Some professional service companies require to hold a professional license. It takes time for new entry companies to get the license. The second competitive force is the intensity of rivals among established companies within an industry. According to Australia Industry Report 2015, scientific support service was declining. Professional service companies try to export their service overseas to meet increasing global demands for service. The bargaining power of buyers. The bargaining powers of buyers refers the abilities of buyers to bargain down the price charged by the company in the industry. The bargaining powers of suppliers. The bargaining powers of suppliers refers the ability of suppliers to raise the cost of industry in other ways. Labor are the suppliers of professional service company because they provide service directly to its customer. In order to retain talents, professional service company prefer to increase employee salaries. The final process is the state of substitute. A substitute performs a same or similar function as an industry product by a different means. The substitutes of professional service are social group and organization, online resource, family and friends who have similar experience before. The share of these substitutes are low because all of them are unprofessional and not really help when related specific field. SWOT analysis of GHD. Compared with its competitor, GHD has 7 strengths. The first strength is GHD engage and empower people. GHD conducts regular people surveys globally. The second strength is it has strong human capital. It is including gender diversity, online learning system, and high employee retention rate. The third strength is innovation. GHD launched their Innovation Rooms program. It is a good way to collect different opinions and hear different voices from their employees. The fourth strength is safety commitment. The total recordable incident rate is lower than its industry average rate more than 5 years. The fifth strength is high customer satisfaction. These 3 client satisfaction ratings are all higher than 18%. The sixth strength is achievement, award, and ranking. This achievement, award, and ranking will bring good reputation to GHD. The seventh strength is employee ownership. GHD is a 100 employee-owned company. Employees highly involved in the business. Weakness of GHD. GHD has shortage of technical specialists such as engineers and architects. The second strength is its lack of clear product position. They didn't make significant difference between its service with its competitors. The third weakness is just rely on collect employees' idea, not consider other innovation methods at the same time. The fourth weakness is high wage expense. GHD needs to afford a large amount of wage expense for hiring its employees.
An opportunity of a company is an external strategy objective, which can bring future benefits for the company. And the author Grant mentioned that opportunity is foreseeable in external environment of a company, and the decision makers made adjustments to direct the company. They believe it will lead to long-run The growing economy of new trade agreements between countries in global markets are rapidly increasing, which is an opportunity to expand into new geographic markets. Although the market changes were fast, the growing demand of new products would incentive companies to design new products and try to make the company's product line to meet a broader range of customer needs. New acquisitions will be a good way for GHD to attract more technology experts and capability. It would benefit the GHD in long-run operation. Threats can be defined as external events which can undermine our organization, its goals and missions. For publishers, ebook is a threat, which is a reduction in publishers' ability to sell books through traditional channels such as physical shop fronts. To neutralize the possibility of threat of lower sales revenue from traditional channels, there is a sentence on GHD's website which is new challenges emerging daily and the threats are dynamic and ever-changing. Security is the most important thing and threats to GHD. They tried to deliver best appropriate security practice and technologies to the private and public sectors to achieve sustainable security. GHD also works with alliance partners and specialist consultants to deliver the most effective team. There was a potential threat of economics such as foreign exchange threats. Sometimes the exchange rate was high, which reduced the profit of the company. The hedging techniques such as forward contract and future contract might help them to reduce the risk of loss on foreign exchange. Also, the political threats might be another potential threat of GHD as it is a global company. which is often caused by the buyer wishing to pay by the government of the host country, delaying the approval to remit funds or balance of payments. The war official policy changes will deeply influence the company operation, although political risk and the natural disasters are very difficult to manage. The international strategy is a kind of global range strategy, which also can be defined as a firm sells its goods or service outside its domestic market, and the strategies are designed to enable organizations to achieve its objective of international expansion. GHD using Chen's national strategy as international strategy, which means think as global and act as local approach that incorporates elements of both multi-domestic and global strategies. It requires both centralization, which was global coordination, and the decentralization, which was local flexibility. With different countries, GHD combined with the local conditions to develop a different strategy to enter the markets, such as local culture and the local conditions is the most important things for a company. There are 5 international entry modes, which is exporting license and franchising, strategic alliance, acquisitions, and the new wholly owned subsidiaries, such as in Australia, GHD used the strategic alliance entry mode, which means partnering with energy and resource clients for their sustaining capital commitments. It involves shared risk and resource because the local government adjusted to lower commodity and energy price in this region. Thus, GHD tried to fill the government capital commitment in the transportation sector to reduce their costs. Each month, the EMG meet in a different location across GHD's operations, which enables our people and leaders to cooperate effectively toward a common purpose. It was established a good communication with each country's leader and shared their strategies. It was a good way to make GHD's thinking global, combined with the different conditions in all of the countries. At the same time, in order to meet the slow growth in China economy, GHD tried to regionalize operations while still focusing on international clients in water, environment sectors and supporting outbound investors. It was exporting entry model as they only focus on international clients, not occupy the large area of China market. They just want to export their service. In North America, GHD used the acquisitions of franchise entry model as they just completed the unification of the North American business under the GHD brand. After unification, they restructured their environment business to deal with economic stagnation, invested in strategic appointments in water and transport, and further diversified our service. International strategy is very important for a company to expand the firm's market coverage once the company accurately targeting the needs of this country. Overall, GHD as a global company gained a huge success in the area of their operation, which is a good company, safe and stable operation.